Hey, good morning, YouTube. Well, I'm here to talk about Empire. What a night for television last night. I don't know who came up with the idea of running Empire, and well, I guess they're both Lee Daniels' projects, so I guess it makes sense. Anyway, Empire, then Star, and then on OWN, you have Queen Sugar all running together. So you have to sit there and watch the boob tube for 3 hours. Anyway, Empire. Okay, this is season 4, episode 2. It opens up with this girl named Claudia, played by Demi Moore. She's trying to give Lucius a bed. Now, I'm not sure of exactly what her title is. I know she's a therapist, and I know her job, her assignment is to help him to get back to his memory. That's what she's tasked with. But she's giving him a bath. So she's done a lot more than just talk therapy, that's for sure. And so she does also seems like physical therapy. So she is someone who sticks with him all the way through the process. He says, no, let me try to do it on my own. He's trying to gain some independence. She says, it's a good idea. So he gets in the bathtub. As he goes down, you start off high in the bathtub and you kind of drift down up to your neck, right? Well, as he's drifting up to his neck, a claw comes out and tries to strangle his ass. Trying to push him down under the water. And we see that he's going back and forth. His mother tried to drown him when he was a kid, right? So they're going back and forth from flashing back to that attempted drowning to now, which is the same thing. His mother is trying to drown him. She's got a hold of his neck and she's pushing him underwater. So Claudia hears this, thank goodness, and comes in and pulls her off. Saves her. All right, next thing we see is Cookie is moving into the mansion. This is 11 o'clock at night. She's moving into the mansion. She has all of her fur coats, which takes several racks just to get her coats up there. And she says to supervise. She's not satisfied with Claudia's work, so she's going to move in and supervise. This is a contentious takeover. Okay, Andre's in this club, right? Yeah, he's trying to make this deal to sell off Extreme. Remember last season, the big thing was to get Extreme going, build Extreme up. This streaming service. Well, now Andre's trying to sell it off from Empire. So he's come to what he considers to be progress. They've made the deal. So he's in the bar, he's celebrating. He meets this woman there, a loose woman. I call her a loose woman because she's willing to meet a total stranger and go walk home with him to have sex instantly. And so he is making out with this girl. They're up in his hotel room. And when he's time to put it where it's supposed to be, she realizes that he can't get it up. Andre gives, which is probably the right answer, true answer. Oh, my doctor has got me on this new medication. Could happen. Psych meds do that. But she said, well, you tell your doctor you just missed the best piece of ass you ever have. And she waltzes on out of the picture, right? But she will be back. So hold on for that. Okay, Anika comes before a judge. Now, we have to remember that Anika is innocent. She actually is innocent, from what I remember of last season. Anika comes before the judge, right? And the judge, she's trying to get bail. She's been in jail for 5 months. The judge denies her bail. He says she will come back in 6 months for the trial. All right, Anika, she's beside herself. She's for sure she's going to get out. So she breaks away in the courtroom and runs to the railing, which Akeem is there in court, and tells Akeem to tell Cookie to see her immediately. Come and see her. And she remembers the details of such and such date, some date. right? Immediately after that, we see she's back in jail, and Cookie and what's that boy's name? Thirsty, come to see her in jail. Okay, hold on, let me get caught up. Okay, so Thirsty and Cookie come see Anika in jail. Of course, Cookie's nasty to her. You know, they've never been friendly. There was a period where they were getting along a little better, but she's nasty to her. But here's what Anika has for her. She's threatening to tell what she knows about the death of Bumpy. The date that she gave Hakeem in the courtroom was the date that Bumpy died. And she's threatening to spill the beans unless they get her out of there. Right? Okay. Then we move right on to Claudia. Okay, so Claudia's taking Lucius out on this field trip. She takes him to this old restaurant. She's trying to slowly walk him back into his memory. She takes him to this restaurant that he used to go to with an old friend of his, an old record producer, his first producer, the first one. No, the record producer was actually, I think, a DJ when they knew each other as kids. He was the first one to play Lucius's music. He became a big producer, arranger, writer, big guy in music. They used to go there to eat, right? So the waiter comes over, starts talking about when they used to come. He recognizes Lucius, of course, and he starts going over old stories about when they used to come to the restaurant. At some point, he starts going into to when they would come in with bring girls in and all this, and then Claudia cuts him off and said, "Okay, maybe we can eat now," because she doesn't want him with she don't want him to she's guiding his way into getting his memory back. So by him introducing old stories too fast, when she can't control it, she cuts it off. Right? So she basically dismisses him. Lucius announces he has to go to the restroom. On his way to the restroom, he stops by the kitchen and asks, or the window to the kitchen, and asks this guy the guy's name that he was talking about, producer's name, and then did he have his phone number? Could he reach him? He said no, he's having a wedding. He can't answer the phone. I'm sure he's not answering his phone because he's having a wedding for his niece or daughter or somebody, a family member, and gives him the location. So next thing we know, Lucius is ditching Claudia in the restaurant. He's going out a different exit, and she's lost him. Okay, she's lost him, and this guy's name is Eddie Barker. Okay. So he proceeds to this place where this wedding is taking place, and he walks in on the wedding. Of course, everyone is formally tired, but he doesn't look like a bum. He comes in. This guy Eddie is happy to see him. They really are old friends. So they start going over after the wedding. They're sitting at the table and they're going over old friends with a whole table full of other music people. And as they're telling the stories, they start talking about some violent thing that Lucius has done. Now, Lucius is very resistant to all of his past violence. Seems like every time they mention something he did in the past, which involved violence, he freaks out. And this time is no exception. So he tries to get up on his own. Of course, he's unsteady. He's got one leg. He's unsteady. We move to Thirsty. Okay, Thirsty's trying to get this girl out before she spills the beans. Anika's blackmailing them to get her out of jail. So Thirsty comes up with some bogus tape of Tariq abusing her of some argument. I don't know why they wouldn't have brought it up before now, but I think they just made up a tape did the dubbing and the voices and things. Anyway, they convinced these people to give her bail. Or that's what they're playing for. Later on, we're going to see that it actually does work. Okay. Okay. Now, next thing we see, Cookie spots her mother-in-law or ex-mother-in-law, Leah, in her bedroom, going through her drawers. Drawers of drawers. She said, "What are you doing, you crazy old broad?" Whatever. Cookie's not nice to pretty much to anybody. She loves the one she loves, and she seems to be very nasty to people. So she ain't never been down with Leah. She just thinks she's crazy. She's a nut. So she sees her looking for, and Leah is looking for a gun. And then Leah just out of nowhere runs out, "I'll take care of that witch, or that monster must be killed inside of him." She wants to kill Claudia. She thinks Claudia is some kind of witch, and Lucius has got evil spirits in him. First she tried to kill him. Now she wants to kill Claudia. But that's not the important part of the scene. As she's leaving, as Cookie is getting her out of her room, she says that, "I'll take care of her just the same way I took care of that damn Tariq," which was her son, who she murdered. She admits that she killed Tariq and that she framed that other witch to take his take the rap, which would be Anika. Apparently Cookie wasn't aware of this. Right? So next thing we see is Cookie, Lucius, Claudia, and several staff people from some mental institution are there. They call Leah into a room, and they are going to put her away. Lucius, he may not remember anything, but he knows to sign the paper after she tried to kill his ass. So they put her away. They signed the papers involuntarily. They put her away. She was away for years now. Remember, they found her in a home she had been in for many, many years. She's always been psychotic. As they're handing Claudia is handing her some papers, she goes for her throat. So the little old lady now has a death grip on this girl, Claudia's throat, and she's determined to choke her out. Okay. Next thing we know, the cops are showing up at Leviticus. No, at Empire. Cops showing up at Empire, and they want to ask questions about the disappearance of Juliana. Right? The last cop to come into the room, the last detective, and I don't know if he's the feds or state. They don't really determine that. You just know that she's a detective. That woman that Andre almost screwed, well, she's a detective working on the case which he's involved in. So she was going to let him put it in her, even though she's just a detective. nasty woman. All right. Well, why would they reveal her if maybe the sex thing didn't work, so they tried something else? All right. Of course, Andre denies everything. I mean, what else can he do? Cookies. Okay. Cookie is making a deal that Andre is totally against. All right. Cookie, we don't know if it was just sporadic or she had planned to do this, but she is making this deal where she is promising the public that the public and some record company, some other company that they're involved in, she is going to release an album for every year that Empire has been in existence. So that's 20 years. So she says that she's going to release 20 albums in 1 year. Of course, Andre is frantic. It doesn't make any sense to him at all, because he has always been in charge of the money, and what he's had to do is take the money from one album in order to make another album. Take the money from that album to make another album like that. That's the way they do it. She wants to release all 20, in the same year. He says it's impossible. And Cookie is opposed to them selling off part the streaming service, Empire Extreme. She didn't want that. So they're at odds, Cookie and Andre. Andre still wants this company, and currently she is the one that's in charge. All right. Right around this time, I don't know if it's the next scene or not, but and I did miss one thing, because there's a big thing with Jamal and Becky. So I don't remember the details of that story, but anyway, there shows a scene where Jamal is making this nice song, beautiful song, with his new boyfriend. The new boyfriend, who we're already been shown that is actually Miss Dubois' other son, but he seems to be in relationship with Jamal. They sing this duet together. It's a nice song. Okay, so they sing this duet together. He's falling out with Becky because Becky is a temporary A&R person, and she is opposed to how Jamal is handling this deal. They've made a deal to record a certain song. They wanted changes made. Instead of making the changes that the client wanted, Jamal goes and creates a whole different song, something that the client is not even aware of. And so Becky has to go around him and has this girl Tori sing the song the way that the client wants it sung. She makes that deal behind his back. The client is happy, Becky is happy, but Jamal is furious. How dare you? I'm a lion. So Jamal threatens Becky's job. She will no longer be temporary. She will be nothingary. He will fire her. He goes behind her back like that. Behind his back like that again. Okay. When she tells Cookie about the situation, Cookie asks her one distinct question. What did the client think? He said the client loved it, gave $500,000 committed to the project for promotion, and also committed to financing the video. So Cookie, she's not mad about it because she's a businesswoman. She gives Becky the permanent position of head of A&R, and she gives her a 30% increase, raise. All right, hope I got that all right. Okay, so in the wind down, okay, so when they have their interaction, their conflict, Cookie and Andre, which Andre says this thing you promised is impossible. It doesn't make any damn sense. He is in charge of the money. It should have been run by him first. He would have told you no. And she's saying that I am the one in charge, and I would not put up with your insubordination. As she says that, she grabs the prize-winning bat. Remember, he keeps a bat, almost like this enthroned bat, behind his desk. Cookie is using Lucius's desk, right? And she said, I see where this is going. So she's threatening. I guess she's threatening to beat the shit out of him with that bat. And he acquiesces and leaves. All right. Where are we at? We're getting to the end of it. Lucius hears a sound in this, or he just had the dream or something. He wakes up, panic in the middle of the night. It's like 11 o'clock at night. He goes to Claudia's room, and in fact, she is moving out. She says she can no longer be of use there. Her time has come to go. And basically, and he asks her, is it because I ran off? And she says essentially yes, because in order for this to work, it's got to be trust. He says you're the only one that I do trust. And then he literally begs her to stay. She does. Last scene we see is Anika is out, and she shows up at Akeem's door. As she opens the door, Tiana is standing there with the baby. Fade to black, into the scene. Okay, people, I'll see you in a week.